Yo, what is up guys, and welcome to another Wild Rift video. And in today's video, I'm gonna be giving you guys the ultimate beginner's guide to the new champion Urgot. And this champion is amazing. I'm gonna be telling you guys how to use his abilities, explain every single part of his abilities, how to combo his abilities, how to build on him, what runes to use, everything. So there's timestamps in the description if you just want to skip around in the video, so let's talk about it. Urgot is not a champion of the combos. He's actually a very easy champion to play. So honestly, you could just go ahead and pick up Urgot and play him in ranked. Like, just pick him in practice mode, practice a little bit, and you can play him in ranked. So let me explain. The passive is simple, but there is a few things you need to understand about it. Let me show you. First of all, oh, I'm not moving my camera for some reason. Yeah, there we go. Urgot's attacks and purge periodically trigger blasts from his lag cannons. You will deal damage, right? Like, I just leveled up, so let me just level right down to make sure it's correct. So yeah, when you're level 0, or level 1, sorry, you'll do damage plus 2% of the target's maximum health as physical damage. And there is a 15-second cooldown per leg. Let me show you. So, if you actually look around Urgot, you see every single leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the ones that blast. So take a look at how it works. If I shoot this enemy right here, take a look at what happens. Boom! See, it explodes one of my legs, and then any attack afterwards, you see, doesn't do that much damage. If I go here again, boom, the other leg explodes. Boom, the other leg explodes. Other leg, other leg, other leg, as you can see. And now you can see the 12 seconds are over, so boom, this leg will explode again. That is how it works. That's how the passive works. So you can use this, you can utilize this passive in your lane because it does AoE damage. Let me show you. Let's go to this dummy right here. If I put an enemy dummy right here and take a look, if I proc this, boom, it damages both enemies. What this means is, like, if you attack a minion, let's, for example, this dummy is a minion and this dummy is an enemy champion, okay? You can shoot on the minion, boom. Well, the leg needs to be back. There we go, the leg is back now. Boom! And you're gonna be poking the enemy in the lane. And it's gonna be quite substantial damage. This is early game, right? Like, you can poke the enemy in the early game. Once you level up, I want you guys to pay attention to the numbers. 2% maximum health and 15-second cooldown. Take a look. When you get to level 5, boom. Boom, boom. Take a look at what happens. Now it's suddenly 3% of the target's maximum health. And 10-second cooldown. It went from 15 to 10, guys. So now you can use it more often and it's gonna do significantly more damage. So if you level up even further, boom, 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 level 10. Take a look at it now. Now it's 4% and it has a 5-second cooldown. And take a look now. Boom, 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 boom. It's back up already. Look, boom, you can shoot it again. So the later you get in the game, your playstyle will change as well. And let me show you one more thing. When you level up even further, at level 13, yes, at level 13, at level 9 you get the other one by the way, but at level 13, it becomes 5% of the target's maximum health. And a 3-second cooldown. Look, 3 seconds, look. Boom, boom, boom. I can't even use, look, it's recharging faster than I'm using them. However, now we get to the ability part of the game. Let me level up fully to level 15. So let's explain the abilities. That's how the passive works. Like, as you can see, you can basic attack and proc that. So now let's talk about the first ability. Very simple. Very, very simple ability. Fires an explosive charge that deals damage and slows the enemy by 1.25 seconds. Take a look. You throw a charge like this. Boom. You see? Hey, it's funny. Is that a bug or something? Wait, did you see that? It did damage to him? That was a bug or something, because it applied the armor penetration, but it didn't do damage when I threw it here. That's funny. You guys can rewind the video and you'll see it. But basically, you can throw it on an enemy. As you can see, it does damage and it slows them. Simple, right? It is an extremely simple ability. But now let's talk about the second ability, guys. There's a lot to say right here. Let me just show you first. Take a look at it. Boom. Look, it's like a machine gun. However, I'm gonna turn off 0 cooldown, and as you can see, it's shooting infinitely. Another, however, let's go back to level 1. Let's go back to level 1. Take a look at what happens now. Boom, boom, boom. Sure, it does damage, everything like that. But after a while, it goes on cooldown. 8-second cooldown. Let's take a look at the numbers, guys. Take a look at the numbers. 7.7 second cooldown on level 1, 5.2 on level 2, 2.6 on level 3, and 0.3 on level 4. 0.3 meaning you can use it infinitely. Infinitely. Here you can see it as well. At max rank, Purge gains infinite duration. So let's talk about this ability real quick. You will shoot the nearest enemy rapidly for 4 seconds. You can't change target, by the way. You will deal a certain amount of damage. It's not that much damage. However, you apply on-hit effects at 50% effectiveness. Let me quickly explain what that means. So take a look. When I basic attack the enemy 1, 2, 3 times, my Kraken Slayer will do 67 damage. However, when I use my second ability, boom, 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 it only does half that damage, which is 34. It actually does 33.5 damage, but it rounds it up to 34. So that's all it means. So Blade of the Rune King, Wits End, Kraken Slayer, any kinds of on-hit effects are halved when you use the second ability. You are attacking much faster, but you're doing less on-hit damage. But that's okay. It's still worth it to use it. So let's go right back up to level 15 right now. Also, you get slowed. During this time, Urgot's movement speed is reduced by 125. However, you gain slow resist. So you are slower, but you're not very easily gonna get much slower. And it does a decent amount of damage to minions as well. So you can use it to shove the wave too. You can recast it if you wanted to end it early. And that's all you need to know about this ability. Now let's talk about the third ability. This one is interesting. You dash to an enemy and you throw them back. First of all, you get a shield. Let me put 0 cooldown on again. You get a shield, as you can see, before charging in. And then you charge into the enemy. As you can see, you really have to be up close. Like, you see, you really have to have this arrow onto the enemy to hit it. And now, I want to talk about flash comboing it. I'm gonna do the combos through the abilities, by the way. Because normally you would think that you could flash combo it like this. You know, like Graga's third ability. So you go in, and then you flash on the enemy. However, you'll soon find out that it doesn't work. This one does work, but I'll explain later. Like right after this, you can't do it. The way you need to do it is before he dashes, like this, like that, like I showed you earlier. Right before he actually dashes, you flash. So you can do it like this, and before he dashes, you do it. That one was correct, but unfortunately, I just wasn't able to reach him. So before he dashes, boom, like that. And as you can see, it may require some practice. So before he dashes, you can actually use it super early as well. You can even do it like this. But to surprise the enemy a little bit more, you can wait just a little bit. So like this, and then you dash. You see, and then it will instantly stun them. Again, this requires practice. As you can see, I'm not hitting all of them, because this definitely does require practice. So you dash, and boom, you flash. I failed it, you see? So practice this one, and it'll make perfect. Because imagine in a lane where you could just grab the enemy. I messed it up again. Imagine a lane where you can grab the enemy like this, right? And this is really important. Let me tell you more combos right now. Because this third ability is also really good when you're up close to the enemy. For example, I'm trying to proc my legs. Boom. 1 second, let me do it again. Boom. Boom. Throw him behind you and you have more legs here, you see? This is very, very good. You can also use it during your second ability, as you can see. So let's say you proc the legs on front. You can then throw him behind you and shoot here as well. Really, really good ability. Perfect for Urgot. Now, as you can see, the enemy is at a low amount of HP. So now it's a good time to showcase the ultimate. Boom! Boom! Look at that! If the enemy is below 25% health, your ult hits the enemy anyways. Let me show you. If the enemy is not below 25% health, your ult will impale the enemy and it will slow the enemy for this duration. You see how long the duration is? If the enemy gets under 25% health during this duration, let me just quickly get him under 25% health. And also, you can use any ability during your second ability, by the way. You can also use your first ability. So now he's below the health. You can see if you hook him then, it will execute him. And it automatically procs when the enemy is at a low amount of HP. So as you can see, boom! Another thing you need to know is you'll fear nearby enemies when you execute an enemy horribly like that. I mean, who wouldn't be feared if you see an Urgot literally brutally murdering a champion like that? Who wouldn't be feared, right? So that's the beauty of this ultimate. You have one charge of it, but you can just completely execute an enemy like that. So now let's talk about how to build Urgot. And I want to say again, the game did a pretty good job at with the basic build for Urgot. But we'll talk about the items and we'll talk about my opinion on them. And of course, the build is probably going to change sometime in the future because Urgot just came out. They updated logos. Oh, interesting. So yeah, this is the basic build that they give to Urgot. And let's talk about it real quick. Black Cleaver 100%. Like, this item is super good on Urgot, especially because of his second ability. Because his second ability will do very quick damage. So you'll proc the Black Cleaver very, very fast. Also, your passive does a lot of... it's just easy to get the Black Cleaver. That's what I'm trying to say. With your passive, with your second ability, with your first ability, you have a lot of different ticks of damage. So you can very easily proc the Black Cleaver. That stance is great as well. I want to talk about an item that you don't want to go for. Oh, you can't even go for it. Okay. Starrick's Gauge. You never want to go Starrick's Gauge. It seems like you can't even... Yeah, okay, exactly. The game has done it already where you can't buy it. Because you need to keep in mind Urgot is a ranged champion. That's what I wanted to make clear. Urgot is ranged. So even if you're thinking about Blade of the Rune King, it's probably not worth it because you're ranged. You're only going to be using the ranged part of this ability. You're not going to do 9% on-hit damage. You're going to do 6%. And if you use your second ability, it's only going to be 3%. You know what I mean? It's really not a lot. So even though Blade of the Rune King may seem like a very good item on Urgot, I would honestly not recommend it on Urgot. Guardian Angel is great to have. And in the late game, Urgot becomes tanky as well. So in the late game, you can buy tanky items. And then yet again, with the new items, you don't want to go for Soaring Crown because Urgot is a ranged champion. You're only going to be doing 0.8% damage, right? And in this item, Mantle of the 12th Hour, this one is also not really worth on Urgot, I would say. And then this one, Amaranth Twin Guard, also not... I mean, you can go for it. If you feel like you can survive for a long time, you can go for it. But otherwise... you're much better off going for the traditional support items. Spirit Visage is great because Urgot gains the shield from the third ability, right? And also, if you have Death's Dance, it makes Spirit Visage better as well. You want to go for the Stone Plate. Mercury Threads are great, like to have anti-CC. Armor Boots are also good, but try to go for Mercury Threads. These are generally going to be better. As I said, here you want to go for Stone Plate for the tankiness. I mean, to be fair, you could go for Protobot just to get a little bit closer to the enemy. Stasis is also playable if you go for a bit more of a Glass Cannon type of build. Because you can also go a bit more Glass Cannon type of build where you just go full damage. But yeah, Stone Plate is what I recommend. And then the game gives you Kraken Slayer. You can also go for Conqueror, but keep in mind with Conqueror, it's a little bit harder than you think to stack on Urgot. Because your second ability is probably not going to be continuously stacking up the Conqueror, so you need to use different abilities all the time. However, you can still do it. It's definitely doable. Like you really have to do it properly. But Kraken Slayer is probably going to be the safest choice. Brutal is good because your second ability applies on-hit effects. Keep in mind it's only half though. This is what the game gives you as well, and I love that they give a pretty good build here. Adaptive Carapace, yet again, I love how they thought about this one because this one is really, really good too. Because you get a shield. If you're at a low amount of HP, you get the 16 armor or magic resist in the early game. And then you can dash to the enemy and gain the 15% shield. During this shield, you're also going to be having the bonus armor and magic resist. So it's going to make you even tankier. And then here it's completely situational. Demolish, Nimbus Cloak is good. Hunter Genius, don't go for Hunter Genius because in the late game, you can already use the 0 cooldown of the second ability. So for the spells, you go for Ignite and Flash. So yeah, that is it for the beginner's guide for Urgot. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a like. Remember to put a comment under the video because there's a skin giveaway. And I will see you all in the next Wild Rift video. Bye bye.